was just talking to Roger during the break. Thank you for joining us. Ted Nugent's coming up at the bottom of the hour. And I was talking about the fact that, yes, we're having some major victories, and Trump's been nominated. We defeated them trying to steal the election. We saw Hillary openly steal it in a horrible fashion from Bernie Sanders. So this country's in trouble. And so just like they have coups in foreign countries, there's coup in major media operations, just like Ted Cruz tried to take over the Phyllis Schlafly operation, or at least somebody in his crew did. This is much bigger. There is a coup at Fox. I'm not getting this from Stone, though he confirmed some of it for me. He, of course, has a lot of contacts in Fox and works as a consultant for him for years. And so I'm just filling you in on the fact that from my sources, this is a real coup over Roger Ailes hugging women when they hug him, just like I hugged Diamond and Silk earlier when they were here. So for me, this is the biggest issue. Yes, we're having victories. Yes, the mainstream media is on its heels at certain levels, but if they take down Fox, and you're talking about dozens of people trying to leave, Sean Hannity, you name it. That's why I've been defending Hannity lately, saying he's got courage, because I know from sources he's been threatened to be fired, his contract not to be renewed in a few years, if he keeps basically letting Trump talk about rape. That's the big no-no. It's why he's been not on Fox for 6 months. It's even though he works there. And I don't mean to give inside baseball. I get this from other people, Roger. Tell me if I'm wrong. This is not from Stone. I have other contacts. And it's not Tucker Carlson either. I had dinner with the other night. This is going on. This is a major coup. I knew about it 6 months ago. And now they're implementing it right before the election. It's a very bold move. Roger, how big a deal is this?
Look, I think it's used. Let me be very clear. I'm not a contributor at Fox, so I have no self-interest in my comments today. This is, I think, the move of the globalists, sons of Rupert Murdoch, who would like Fox to be more like CNN, who would like Fox to be more like the Sky Channel in the UK. That, of course, from a business point of view, would be an enormous mistake, because the conservatives will merely go elsewhere. They'll go to InfoWars. They'll go elsewhere. Also, I've known Roger Ailes for almost 50 years. I know him as a family man. I knew him when he was younger. These are ridiculous charges. Among other things, one thing no one has ever accused Roger Ailes is of being stupid. It's the idea that he would, that he would stick it in the company inkwell, as it were, is just out of the question. Roger Ailes could have any beautiful woman he wants. He is very wealthy based on his success of building the monolith that is Fox. So knowing him as I have no doubt whatsoever that these charges are trumped up BS. If he indeed leaves Fox, Fox will not be the richer for it. Fox will be surpassed by a new conservative network. Look, the other thing I could tell you is Ailes has one more launch in him. He's got one more, act in him. So if he is discharged, I think he'll have the opportunity to build a new cable news network.
Plus, those people are all trained under him for decades. You take 30 of the people from Fox, that is Fox.
Well, and the people who know him best, like Sean Hannity, like Monica Crowley, like Judge Andrew Napolitano, these people are my friends. They will all tell you this is nonsense. This is trumped up charges to try to remove a major conservative voice from the media. So I have ultimate confidence in Roger Ailes, and I hope he fights these charges, because they are ridiculous. Also, why did Gretchen Carlson wait so long to make these accusations? Why did she only make them when her career appeared to be in jeopardy? The other point I would make here is that that Alex is exactly right. This is part and parcel of the effort, which is we see across the board on cyberspace, on every other medium. I myself have been banned at CNN. I've been banned at MSNBC. Why? Because I'm politically incorrect. I met with somebody from CNN yesterday. We had a very pleasant conversation, and I said, well, why am I'm really just kind of curious. It's bad enough that you ban people. That was a tactic for Adolf Hitler, I believe, and Stalin, but you let Ted Cruz come on the air in prime time, attack me by name, and then you don't give me a chance to respond.
That's right. They've taken you off because you're effective and you're not following the White House talking points that you don't talk about rape. We're going to talk about how Donald Trump is real nice to women when he's not married and dates them and treats them real nice, so that's sexual abuse. But meanwhile, they're settling rape cases for Clinton. And so now they're trying to bring down Roger Ailes the same way. And a lot of people are saying, oh, good, that means we'll get more viewers and listeners. No, that's not how it works. They're coming after Matt Drudge and Rush Limbaugh and Alex Jones next. Guaranteed. Drudge has come here to warn me. I've been warned. I've been warned by other people. He's been warned by Supreme Court Justice, the one that's still alive. I mean, this is a major climate shift, folks, in politics to total totalitarianism. So that's why I wanted to up front and center cover this. We're going to skip this break because the time we have here is so important. This country is in an emergency. And that's why it's important for viewers and listeners. I'm not going to even plug right now. Just go to InfoWarsStore.com, buy the products. Some of the big sales are ending today. Fund our operation. Great products you need. We're self-funded. The enemy has trouble shutting off sponsors this way. This is the future, by the way. This is where the media is going. And so understand, folks, that I don't even want a big giant studio all the time. I don't need one. People want to see how this is real, teleprompter free. You know, I'm going over there to get a glass of water, whatever. This is just real people in the trenches fighting, not putting on airs. Now, let's shift gears into how we counter this, and then, more importantly, into the current election. But I really see this as a desperation signal by them to openly destroy or start destroying their Fox franchise, with up to 30 of their people now saying they're ready to leave. This is seismic, folks. This is really a political shot heard around the world that they would desperately try to threaten us not to have rallies, try to shut down free speech, ban you on all the networks, basically ban you everywhere, admit you're banned everywhere, except not admit you've been banned at Fox, where I know you were a consultant in the past, then suddenly 6 months you haven't been on there. I mean, this really shows they're desperate. Am I right?
Yeah, no, I have been a contributor at Fox, and I have had some notable performances there in which I got a chance to lay out the truth. But most of the mainstream media is afraid of the truth. Here's the biggest point, Alex, which is if we're going to persecute Roger Ailes for what I think are very thin charges of sexual harassment, what about Bill Clinton? What about Bill Clinton and Juanita Broaddrick and Paula Corbin Jones and the courageous Kathleen Willey and Christy Zurcher, Eileen Wellstone, Helen Dowdy, Becky Brown? This list goes on and on. But the mainstream media ignores sexual assault, ignores Bill Clinton exposing himself to women in an aroused state, ignores Bill Clinton biting his victims, his signature move, as authenticated by Michael Isikoff, then of Time, now of Yahoo, as authenticated by the Roger Morris of the Washington Post. These are not exactly left-wing journalists. Let's be very clear. Bill Clinton is a real sexual predator, and the only reason that Bill Cosby is being prosecuted and Bill Clinton is not is racism. This is racist, and it's time for Bill Clinton to be prosecuted.
Now let's shift gears into the current campaign. What is Lewandowski, who I've left alone, I'm taking the gloves off, what is the former campaign head, after you were the campaign head for Trump, what on earth is he doing going after the current campaign head and blaming him for this Trump speech, Mrs. Trump speech? All I know is I looked at both speeches, the transcripts. This is stuff almost everybody says in every speech about their roots and where they came from. I mean, that's like saying Trump plagiarized Make America Great Again. That's from Ronald Reagan. Well, that was said before that, too. I mean, there's certain things like the word Titanic you can't plagiarize, and I just don't think that there's been this problem. But even if there was, Obama's been caught clearly plagiarizing. His speechwriters have before. So much of language has already been used. My issue is, what is he doing? Running around on TV, bad-mouthing the current head of the campaign. That sounds like something a Clinton operative would do.
Well, I think it's obvious that he is putting his own personal self-interest and his grudges against the election of the man he professes to say is his friend and whose candidacy he supports. Look, I think Corey Lewandowski is essentially talentless and that he has a screw loose. His commentary on CNN is inane and self-serving. If there was plagiarism, according to what I just read in the New York Times, it appears that it is the fault of some person, a relatively low level, not in the Trump campaign, but at the Trump organization, someone who was well-meaning and thought they were helping.
That's what I heard. That's what I like about them. They are so mom and pop that they got her words, put it together in a speech, and then she gave it to what this PR friend's what I heard through the grapevine, that then just put the standard thing you put in all speeches about your roots and your family.
Yeah, but to say that, to come out publicly and say that Trump should fire Rick Gates, a very capable guy who serves as Paul Manafort's right-hand man, or Paul Manafort, who is the guy responsible for crushing the rebellion in the Rules Committee and crushing the floor fight who is the master political technician when it comes to conventions, this is not serving the candidate well. Now, I happen to know that Lewandowski, inebriated last night, tried to crash the Trump family box and had to be restrained by security guards.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Is this breaking here?
This is, I don't know if that's been printed yet. We may be breaking news, but...
Say that again, wow.
Corey Lewandowski tried to crash the Trump family skybox last night in an inebriated state and had to be restrained by security guards. This guy is clearly out of his mind. I think he's probably worried about a story that appeared several weekends ago in the in the New York Post,
Money.
Allegations of embezzling, paying inflated prices for T-shirts and hats and posters, and then taking a skim from the vendor. Now, I don't know if that's true, but sooner or later, I would guess there's going to be a formal investigation. So this guy has not only, it appears, tried to damage Trump's candidacy, may have stolen from him, and he's obviously out of control. I just don't know how
Some
he
people
can
can't handle power.
Well, and Donald Trump Jr. Gave an interview earlier today in which he said, "We know that Lewandowski is spreading disinformation about the campaign." I heard from a journalist last night who told me very breathlessly, "I understand Melania Trump is furious over the speech incident. She's blaming Manafort and she wants Corey Lewandowski back." Every single part of that is a lie, every bit. And under a little bit of cross-examining, became very clear who her source was.
So, I've been talking to you behind the scenes. He's not a conscious saboteur. He's just an egomaniac buffoon.
Yes, I think that's a good characterization.
Wow. Well,
he's a buffoon in the non-pejorative sense of the word. Go ahead.
Wow, I tell you. Well, we've covered some of the negative because that's stuff we've got to deal with. The system's hitting the panic button because populism's rising worldwide. You got Nigel Farage here with huge crowds, rock star, the Brexit's happening. But the empire is striking back. The special interests, the Republican and Democratic machines have combined forces. They've been all meeting in secret around town. They all said they wouldn't go to the convention, but they're all here, sneaking around in the shadows. I've seen some of them, so that's been confirmed. Romney and the rest scurrying about. Literally at night, getting into cars and things. So what is afoot in the king's court? Clearly they know he's who America wants, but clearly there's a lot of subterfuge and cloak and dagger and different types of skullduggery taking place.
Yeah, no, look, this is a perfect moment to pay homage to a guy who is a real American patriot. Senator Bob Dole is here. He's supporting the Trump
campaign now, too.
I worked for him as a legislative assistant, and I worked in his 1996 campaign. He's here. He's in his 90s. This guy is frail, but he's willing to go out and campaign for the Trump-Pence ticket. He's doing his party duty. Now let's contrast him with the Bushes. Where are they? They're not here. You know why? Because they care only about themselves. They care only about lining their own pockets.
And they also vacation with the Clintons.
And their pockets, and the pockets of their cronies, while their policies have made the country poorer, while their policies have made jobs almost obsolete in this country. So I think it's a great juxtaposition. The Bushes are criminals. I've written a book on this, Jeb and the Bush Crime Family. If you haven't seen it, you can go to Infowars.com and snag it right now. I put that in stark contrast to a true American patriot, a guy who was hit by a shell and had to have his entire body reconstructed because of his service in World War II, Bob Dole, a true American patriot, a giant compared to the Bushes, just a giant.
The Bushes are a bunch of they're organized crime. And they've got so many even patriots, people thinking they're good because W goes and sees the veterans with the hospital. And I think W is a lot better than, somebody like Cheney. I don't think he actually ran a lot of stuff. But I mean, we're kind of going back in the past. The point is, this is all a referendum on the Clintons and the Bushes. It's time to put them on the ash bin of history. It's time for them to go away.
Yeah, look, the whole rise of Trump is a rejection of 30 years of bipartisan treason at a minimum, at a maximum, bad decisions at a minimum by the Bushes and the Clintons. What have they jointly given us? Endless war, erosion of our civil liberties, massive debt and borrowing, bailouts for the swindlers and the crooks on Wall Street while average people can't find work, and an expensive, ineffective, inefficient, seemingly incoherent foreign policy. We're for Iraq. No, we're for Iran. No, we're for Iraq. Maybe we should be for Iran. we invariably end up facing guns that we have either given people or sold people. We have a president who can't even figure out who the enemy is.
Trump admits we've been bought off by the communist Chinese, that Hillary's an operative. He openly talks about how we're funding ISIS and Al-Qaeda, and is advised by General Flynn that exposed that Obama's running ISIS. I mean, he is just, everything he's doing. He doesn't want war with Russia, which the West is clearly starting. Not wanting war with Russia is enough for me to support Trump. I mean, the guy is awesome. I've been told by somebody who's been in business with him and known him for 40 years, Dr. Jerome Corsi, that, and I mean, I've been talking to, of course, before when Trump calls him up, I mean, the guys know each other pretty well, not as well as you do, obviously. But he said, listen, Alex, I'm not going to get into it, but he said, Trump knows everything when it comes to what you know. He knew it before you were born about the New World Order. And he said he basically has just been keeping quiet the whole time, even though he fought NAFTA and GATT and did some things. And the point is now he's sucker punching them. That's why they're crapping their pants. And he basically is like a libertarian sleeper cell. Is that accurate?
I think he has a very good fix about who these countries' enemies are. He has never been a globalist. He's a nationalist. He doesn't believe in the New World Order. He believes in American sovereignty. He doesn't believe in their schemes for trade. And he knows
Russia's barely on its knees. Why attack them?
Well, he doesn't want war with Russia. He wants to reach an accommodation with Russia in which everybody can live in peace. Hillary was the one who wants war with Russia because I'm sure she's taking giant contributions from the munitions factories.
Yeah, and sorry, lady, we got kids. We don't want World War III.
So, and I have no doubt, knowing Trump for 40 years, Putin would respect Trump. He doesn't respect Barack Obama. He laughs at him. He's a clown. So people say, how would we do to Putin? He might offend him. No, these guys recognize strength. The Russians only recognize strength. Donald Trump is a man of courage. He's a man of integrity. He has got the cojones for a face-to-face with Putin, and he will be a peacemaker, not a war maker. If you want war, vote for Hillary Clinton. She's already telegraphing it. She was a neocon for the Iraq War.
I know. I have these leftists running up to me and attacking me and stuff and getting in my face. And they're like, how dare you, warmonger? How dare you, warmonger? Hillary, Hillary. And it's just like, it's total opposite of reality.
Yes.
I mean, it is crazy. Well, we've only got about 4 or 5 minutes left, and we've got Ted Nugent coming up. I appreciate you coming in through the security cord and all the rest of it. I know you're going to be doing a lot more today. Tell us what else you're going to be up to, Roger Stone, StoneZone.com, and tell us other key tidbits and information that folks should be brought to speed on. I know there's a new T-shirt I heard about.
Yeah, look, first of all, one of the best things about the rally that Alex and I spoke at the other day was the enormous number of Hillary for Prison T-shirts, which you can go to the Infowars.com store now and grab yours. And I urge you to do so because get the original article. Once Trump is president, we're going to put that T-shirt in the Smithsonian. You'll be able to see one. Now we are introducing a new T-shirt, which I think folks need to get, telling the real truth about Bill Clinton, who is a serial rapist and an abuser of women. This is the Achilles heel of these globalists, and you will soon be able to get this T-shirt at Infowars.com exclusively, or you can contact us at the Stone Zone or the StoneColdTruth.com, and we'll tell you how to get it.
Absolutely. We're going to be carrying it, but just get it right now. And again, going out there, I'd say 1/3 of the people on the street are wearing Hillary for President shirts. It is unbelievable. And the meme has been the #1 search term off and on for a month. We make rape with Bill. We got to make this go full tilt.
Yeah. Well,
in fact, I think I'm going to fly planes and say Bill Clinton's a rapist.
Well, we had hoped
to plaster. It's not true.
We had hoped to plaster the city with a poster like this, but the city fathers pointed out that there are certain regulations against that. But in other cities, while Alex is flying the banners, we may just have our snipers, that's what they call people who post these posters, where it's perfectly legal, litter all the swing states. He
settled multiple rape cases. He raped the country. And he raped Iraq. He's a rapist.
Absolutely.
He's a public figure. He can go straight to hell.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm done, man. I'm all in against. Briefly, what'd you make of the communist trying to shut us up? So I tried to go up there and basically take the flag, go to the top. They didn't get too happy about that yesterday.
Well, look, at the rally the other day, you may have noticed that I was sweating so profusely. That's because I was wearing a bulletproof vest. I mean, I get 13 death threats a day, and it's always the same person. It's the same breathy male voice that sounds amazingly like Joe Conason. I don't think it is Joe Conason, but it sure sounds like him. So it is incredible that they blame us for our tactics. We're violent thugs. We're the bad guys. But these people are threatening my family. I had a guy call me this morning, 6:25 in the morning. I've got a bullet with your name on it. I've got a second bullet with Trump's name on it. Hangs up. tired of this crap. I'm just tired of it. Those are the tactics of the Soros-funded left. I've informed the authorities, and frankly, I've always believed it's those who threaten you that won't hurt you. It's the ones who don't threaten you who
I was about to say, though, they're scared. That's why they're trying to bring down Fox right now. I mean, this is history is happening. People should be really excited. And notice their intimidation hasn't worked. Thousands of patriots are here. We outnumber the miscreant communists, I'd say 2 to 1. Yeah, no, it is very heartening to see all those folks out there yesterday. 3,000 people came to a rally, blistering heat, to hear Alex Jones, to hear Roger Stone, to hear an all-star lineup of patriots talk about their love for this country and what this election's really about. Well, I've got to say, I mean, look, we're the real liberals, okay? I'm for more freedom. You're for more freedom. The so-called left has turned into a bunch of authoritarians allied with the controlled authoritarian right, and this is the populist resistance to it. Roger Stone, StoneZone.com. We got a big interview we did the other day with you about to come out today as well. We're going to talk some more. I'll see you out there on the floor coming up tonight and tomorrow. Thank you so much, Roger. Great to be here. We're selling a product, DNA Force, that is the very best nutraceutical that we can produce. Dr. Group, you took years for you to develop DNA Force for us.
It's been something that I've been working on for a long time, Alex, because I think it's very, very important. What the aging process is when the cell replicates, we lose a little bit of our telomeres. Telomeres are the little cups on the end of our chromosomes.
And when it runs out, you start dying.
We chose the PQQ because it has over 175 different clinical trials. It's one of the most effective substances in the world. It works like an antioxidant. It works to repair nerve growth factor.
So this is a formula to deliver the maximum amount. It's in powder form.
We have so many 5-star reviews. I take this. This is the product that I take.
InfoWarsLife.com, and the profit we make, we fight the globals. We fight the New World Order. Secure your DNA Force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.